O'zbekiston zaminida yana bir bor samimiy qutlayman.
First of all, let me once again cordially welcome my distinguished brother Imran, His Excellency, and the delegation of Pakistan in the Uzbek land.
Biz Pokistonni jahondagi o'zining salmoqli o'rniga ega qudratli davlat, vaqt sinovlaridan o'tgan an'anaviy sherigimiz sifatida e'tirof etamiz. Ushbu rasmiy tashrifni munosabatlarimiz tarixida yangi sahifa ochadigan muhim siyosiy voqea deb baholaymiz.
We consider Pakistan as one of the great powers and strong countries in the South Asia. Plus, it's our well-tested traditional partner. And considering this very visit, we can say that this very visit will open the new page in the history of political and economic relations between Uzbekistan and Pakistan.
Qurrali aloqalarimiz oxirgi yillarda sifat va mazmun jihatdan yuqori bosqichga ko'tarilib borayotganini bizni mamnun etadi.
We are very much enjoying the multifaceted cooperation between Uzbekistan and Pakistan, which is very rapidly growing for the last several years.
Bosh vazir Imran janoblariga mamlakatlarimiz o'rtasidagi sheriklikning rivojlantirishga alohida e'tibor berayotgani va sa'y-harakatlari uchun men bugun yana bir marta juda ko'p tor doirada ham mana shu kengaytirilgan davrada ham biz juda ko'p masalalarni aniq juda katta ishonch bilan bir-birimizga hurmat bilan lekin juda katta rejalar tuzib oldik. Men mana shu uchun qo'llab-quvvatlaganligi uchun ya mana shu bizni mana shu munosabatlarimizni yangi darajaga ko'targanliklari uchun va shuni qo'llab-quvvatlaganlari uchun alohida minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman.
By taking this opportunity, I would like to extend my special and big thanks to our distinguished guest, His Excellency Prime Minister Mr. Imran, because today, throughout our bilateral talks and extended meeting between the delegations, we have been discussing a number of large-scale projects, as well as we have made very clear understanding of various approaches for their implementation. So once again, distinguished Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to thank you for your special attention and for your personal engagement in these very activities. Thank you very much.
Ertaga Toshkentda bo'lib o'tadigan Markaziy va Janubiy Osiyo o'zaro bog'liqligiga bag'ishlangan xalqaro konferensiya ishida bevosita o'zlari mana shu bosh bo'lib, mana shuncha delegatsiya bilan kelib ishtirok etganlari uchun mana shu forumning ahamiyati va nufuzini keskin oshiradi albatta.
Definitely, your personal participation, as well as the fact that you brought here a big delegation from Pakistan, will bring the new level of the quality to the conference that we're planning for tomorrow, that will happen in Tashkent, on the topic of the connectivity between the Central and Southern Asian countries.
Biz birgalikda hozir muloqotlarimizda mana shu Naya Pakiston milliy dastur va yangi O'zbekiston barpo etishga qaratilgan strategiyamiz va ko'p masalalarimiz bo'yicha qilayotgan ishlarimiz uyg'un va hammahang ekanini yana bir marta tasdiqladik.
Identify that the programs that are currently undertaken both in Pakistan and in Uzbekistan, for instance, Naya Pakistan National Program and the National Program of Building New Uzbekistan, to a great extent are in harmony, and they share the same values, the same goals, and the same objectives.
O'zbekiston va Pokiston hamkorligining bugungi yuqori darajada kelib chiqib, biz mana shu munosabatlarimizda yana bir marta ko'p muloqotlarimiz, tayyorgarligimiz natijasida davlatlarimiz o'rtasidagi bugun mana shu strategik sheriklik to'g'risidagi qo'shma deklaratsiyaga imzo chekdik. Bu juda muhim qadam. Mana shu kelajakka ko'p harakatlarimiz, ishlarimiz, rejalarimiz, munosabatlarimizda mana shu aloqalarimiz tarixida yangi davr boshlanishga biz juda katta qadam qo'ydik. Mana shu strategik sheriklik to'g'risidagi qo'shma deklaratsiyaga imzo chekkanimiz bu hech qachon bizning tariximizda, munosabatlarimizda bo'lmagan. Shuning uchun biz bunga o'zdan o'zi kelmadi. Juda katta tayyorgarlik qildik, juda ko'p uchrashdik, juda ko'p mana shu bizni O'zbekistondan va Pokistondan rahbarlar o'zlari bilan uchrashib, bugun mana shu kunga kelganimiz bu juda katta bizning yutug'imiz.
considering the high level of cooperation between Uzbekistan and Pakistan, today we were able to sign the joint declaration on strategic partnership. This is extremely important step, and it opens the new avenue in the history of cooperation between our countries. It has to be mentioned that the heads of the states have made a great preparatory work, and they have conducted a number of the meetings towards signing this very strategic document. I believe that this will be the new document that will open the new history both in Pakistan and in our country.
Biz albatta bugun juda katta tahlil qildik. Mana shu o'zaro savdomiz 4-5 baravarga o'sdi. Lekin biz bugun tahlil qilganimizda bu bizni imkoniyatimiz bilan mana shu ikkita davlatning katta salohiyatiga hech to'g'ri kelmaganini biz yana bir marta bildirib, mana shu komissiyaga alohida topshiriq berdik. Bitta raqamda aytmoqchiman. Kechagi mana shu biznes forumda o'zida 500 milliondan ko'p loyihalarga kelishilgani, bu bizni qancha o'zaro mana shu hamkorligimizda imkoniyat borligini dalolat beradi. Bu hali boshlanishi deb o'ylayman va mana shu boshlanishda ko'p sohalar bo'yicha kelishib oldik. Bu sohalar bo'yicha imkoniyatimiz cheksizligini biz yana bosh vazir janoblari bilan o'zimiz qo'limizga qalam olib mana sizlarni ham kuttirib qo'ydik, lekin bir narsani bilinglar, juda samarali uchrashuvlar bo'ldi va natijasi albatta bo'ladi. Men bunga ishonaman.
I have to mention that for the recent years we were able to increase the turnover of goods in trade between Pakistan and Uzbekistan to 4 or 5 folds. But at the same time, this figure is far below the possible capacity of possible exchange of products between our countries. And therefore, we were able to reach the new discussions in order to increase the trade over between our countries for another 4 or 5 folds in the upcoming years. The fact that in the course of the business forum that had happened in Tashkent today, they were able to sign the contracts and agreements with a total value of $500 million. This again demonstrates that there is an endless opportunity for our effective cooperation. Well, I would like to bring the apology that we had to make you waiting for us for such long, but this is not just because we were talking. It's just because we're talking, we're having very productive talks, very productive discussions, and I'm confident very soon we'll be able to see the results.
Hurmatli do'stlar, muzokaralar davomida biz mintaqaviy xavfsizlikni ta'minlash, ayniqsa Afg'onistonda tinchlik jarayonlarini hissa qo'shish bo'yicha batafsil juda ishonarli muloqotlarimiz va hamkorligimizni qanday qilish bo'yicha fikr almashdik. Umumiy maqsadimiz bitta. Mana shu umumiy maqsadimiz mana shu biz Afg'oniston zaminida tezroq tinchlik va barqarorlik o'rnatishni istaymiz va bu bo'yicha ko'p masalalarni kelishib oldik va hammalaring bilasizlar mana shu qo'limizda kelgan hamma ko'makni ko'rsatish, lekin hammalaring xabarlaring bor, biz 1 yil, 2 yildan beri juda katta harakatlar qilib O'zbekistonda tashabbusi bilan mana shu biz butun ko'p qo'shinlarimiz va hamkor davlatlar bilan kelishib mana shu Termiz, Mazar-i Sharif, Qabul, Peshavar temir yo'li qurish masalasi bo'yicha juda atroflicha kelishib oldik. Vaziyat nihoyatda og'ir, lekin hayot davom etyapti. Mana shu hayot davom etish inobatga olib, mana bugun hammalaring guvoh bo'ldilaring. Men Afg'oniston prezidenti bilan ham juda ko'p 3 soatdan ko'p muloqot bo'ldik. Mana janob bosh vazir Imran bilan ham kelishdik. Lekin mana shu bizni g'oyamizni, bizni tashabbusimizni amalga oshirish bo'yicha mana shu Termiz, Mazar-i Sharif, Qabul, Peshavar temir yo'lini qurish, boshlash bo'yicha juda katta mana shu kelishuvlarga erishdik.
Distinguished friends, today in the course of our talks and discussions, of course, one of the major issues that we have discussed was ensuring the regional security and how we can ensure the peace-building process in Afghanistan, because we share the same goal, the same objective, establish peace and stability in Afghanistan as soon as possible. And in this regard, of course, we are ready to render any necessary assistance. At the same time, we have discussed a number of other projects, such as the building of the Termez, Mazar-i Sharif, Kabul, Peshawar railway. And we need to admit that regardless, whatever is happening right now in Afghanistan, in spite of this very difficult and challenging situation, the life is going on. People are still living. Therefore, we need to continue implementation of these very projects. I have met the president of Afghanistan today, and we have had like 3-hour discussion with him. We have discussed all these initiatives, and all parties are committed for the implementation of this very project.
Nüfuzli global hamda mintaqaviy tuzilmalar doirasida bir-birimizni qo'llab-quvvatlashni davom ettirishga alohida e'tibor berdik.
At the same time, we attached high level of importance to mutual support and assistance in the participation in various global institutions and organizations.
Hurmatli jurnalistlar, biz Pokiston bilan madaniy gumanitar sohada, jumladan mushtarak ma'naviy merosimiz, birgalikda o'rganish, ta'lim va sog'liqni saqlash yo'nalishlarida hamkorlikni chuqurlashtirishga jiddiy e'tibor qaratmoqdamiz va juda ko'p masalalarda, mana Zahriddin Muhammad Bobur va Boburiylar, Muhammad Iqbol, Mirzo G'olib singari ulug' mutafakkir va shoirlarning o'lmas merosi, ma'rifiy qarashlarini xalqlarimizning bog'lab turadigan mustahkam ma'naviy ko'prikligi to'g'risida ko'p muloqot o'tkazdik va ko'p masalalar bo'yicha kelishib oldik. Yana bitta narsani men sizlarga mamnuniyat bilan aytmoqchimanki, biz xalqlarimizni bog'lab turuvchi bu tarixiy haqiqatni hisobga olib, ajdodimiz, mashhur davlat arbobi va buyuk shoir Zahriddin Muhammad Bobur hayoti va ijodi to'g'risida birgalikda badiiy filmni yaratish haqida ham kelishib oldik.
Distinguished journalists, we attach very high level of importance for building humanitarian and cultural relationship between our countries, to learn and to study our joint heritage, as well as to build closer communications in the area of health, as well as education. And with great pleasure, I would like to mention that we employ very high interest to learn the heritage of Babur and the Baburids and Muhammad Iqbal and many others. Because Mirza Ghalib or Muhammad Iqbal, these are the poets and the statesmen that has left a great heritage which is still connecting our people and acting as a good bridge. By taking this moment, I would like to announce with a great pleasure that in the course of our discussions we were able to reach the agreement that from the standpoint of establishing historic truth, we will jointly together will produce a big film that will cover the life and the poetry of the great statesman and the poet Zahriddin Muhammad Babur.
Albatta, O'zbekistonda Pokiston tarixi, madaniyati va san'atiga, xususan urdu tiliga o'rganish, qiziqishni va bu qiziqish tobora oshib bormoqda. O'z navbatida Pokistonda ham o'zbek tili va adabiyoti, mamlakatimiz tarixini o'rganish va tadqiq qilishga juda katta e'tibor qaratilmoqda.
We need to also admit that currently in Uzbekistan there is a great interest among the population to learn more about Pakistan culture, Pakistan arts, specifically to learn Urdu as a foreign language. In its turn, in Pakistan, Uzbek language, Uzbek literature is becoming also popular. So there are a number of different studies and research work is being carried out by Pakistani counterparts.
Biz sayyohlik sohasida, jumladan alohida ziyorat turizmini rivojlantirish bo'yicha hamkorlikning kengaytirish to'g'risida ham fikrlar almashdik va qo'shma dastur ishlab chiqishga kelishib oldik.
In the course of our bilateral discussions, we were able to reach the agreement to further study the possibilities for enhancing and developing the religious or the pilgrimage tourism between our countries. And we agreed that we'll develop the joint action plan in this regard.
Hech shubhasiz, qat'iy mana shu sa'y harakatlarimiz bilan o'z oldimizga qo'ygan yangi marralar va rejalarga yaqin istiqbolda albatta erishamiz. Buning uchun bizda barcha kuch va imkoniyatlar, eng muhimi astoydil intilish va pok niyatimiz mavjudligi to'g'risida juda katta rejalarimiz to'g'risida va qanday qilib ish qilishimiz to'g'risida biz mana shu tashrifdan keyin katta yo'l xaritasi qilib, bu yo'l xaritasini ikkomiz juda katta nazorat qilishga ham kelishib oldik.
It's doubtless that through or with the help of our efforts, definitely, we will be able to attain the goals and objectives that we're setting for ourselves. In this regard, I should say that both countries employ good opportunities, we have the necessary resources, and what is the most important, that we have big endeavors and we have big commitments. And in this regard, I should say that we were agreed that we will develop the plans of actions and we'll develop the joint roadmap in order to specify the activities we will implement in the near future.
Endi so'z navbatini mamnuniyat bilan birodarim Pokiston bosh vaziri muhtaram Imron janob olilariga bermoqchiman.
And now, with great pleasure, I would like to give the floor to my brother, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, distinguished Mr. Imran Khan. Please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. President Shavkat, on behalf of my delegation and myself, I want to especially thank you. Your generous hospitality, the way you have welcomed our delegation. We're all overwhelmed by your hospitality. So first of all, I want to thank you for that.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Janob Prezident, Janob Shavkat Mirziyoyev, avvalambor birinchi navbatda barcha delegatsiyamiz nomidan, o'z nomimdan sizni bunday yuksak ehtirom va mehmondo'stligingiz uchun katta sizga minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchimiz. Biz bundan juda ham qattiq ta'sirlandik.
This is my first visit to Uzbekistan, and inshallah not my last one. I can tell you that my delegation and I are very excited about, first of all, coming to Tashkent, because for that famous, in 1965, the meeting that took place between the Pakistan president and the Indian Prime Minister. And so we all remember, I mean, I'm old enough to remember Tashkent. So firstly, coming to Tashkent, but secondly, we are all excited about going to Bukhara and Samarkand, because as children we have learned about it, its history. So this is also, I thank you, it's a great opportunity for us to see these two most historical cities tomorrow.
Prezident janob oliylari, bu meni O'zbekistonga birinchi tashrifim va Xudo xohlasa bu oxirgi tashrifim bo'lmaydi. Toshkentga kelish biz uchun, men uchun va delegatsiyam uchun juda ham qiziqarli va juda ham hayajonli bir vaziyat, chunki bu bizni tarixan bolalikdan biladigan ko'p voqealarimiz bilan bog'liq. Mana 1965-yilda tarixiy bir voqea bo'lgan Pokiston prezidenti va Hindiston bosh vazirini Toshkentdagi muzokaralari, va buni men o'zim bolaligimdan eslayman. O'sha vaqtda men o'smir edim. Bundan tashqari Buxoro va Samarqandga borishni ham biz juda katta ishtiyoq bilan kutayotgan edik, chunki bizdan bu shaharlarni, buyuk shaharlarni tarixidan xabardor bo'lib kelganmiz.
Today we had extensive talks, and our talks were on the trade, connectivity, cultural, spiritual, and political. So we had such long talks that by the end, Mr. President, I was able to almost understand half of what you were saying in Uzbekistani. Because Urdu is so close to your language, I'm sure that more meetings and I will be able to understand all of it. We won't need an interpreter.
Prezident janobi oliylari, bugun biz juda ham kengaytirilgan, keng qamrovli muzokaralar olib bordik. Juda ko'p mavzularni muhokama qildik. Savdo to'g'risida gaplashdik, o'zaro bog'liqlik to'g'risida, madaniy masalalar, ma'naviy masalalar, siyosiy masalalarni gaplashdik. Shunday uzoq muloqot qildikki, men muloqotimizni yakuniga kelib, sizni gapirayotgan gapingizni o'zbek tilidagi so'zlaringizni deyarli yarmini tushunishni boshladim. Menimcha, agar bunday muloqotda davom ettirsak, keyinchalik men 100% tushunaman, chunki urdu tilimiz o'zbek tiliga yaqin va bizga tarjimonning hojati bo'lmay qoladi.
So first about the economic cooperation. Both of us are on the same path. Mr. President, you're talking about new Uzbekistan, Nea Uzbekistan, and we are talking about Nea Pakistan. The journey is the same. Number one, we want to lift our people out of poverty. We want a bottoms-up approach rather than a trickle-down approach, which has been traditional. So we are on that journey where we are trying to pull people out of poverty. And this is the model of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the state of Medina. He is the first one who started a welfare state where even when they did not have money, the concentration was that a state only prospers when everyone prospers, when it's an inclusive development. And China recently has proved that if you take the people out of poverty, the whole state becomes rich. So we are on that same journey. I know you're concentrating on education and lifting your people up from their current economic situation. Secondly, we have now changed emphasis from geostrategic to geoeconomics. Our whole idea is that we have to create wealth. If we create wealth, then we can spend it on our lower strata of the society and lift them up. So this is extremely important for us, that we now have strong trading relationship with Uzbekistan, which is the biggest country in Central Asia. And we feel that this will benefit both of us. It will be a win-win situation for both Pakistan and Uzbekistan, the stronger we improve our trading ties.
Prezident janobi oliylari bizni muhokama qilgan yo'nalishlarimizda avvalambor biz iqtisodiy hamkorlik to'g'risida gaplashdik va bu borada ham bizni fikrlarimiz juda ham hamohang bo'ldi. Bizni oldinga qo'ygan rejalarimiz ham juda ham mushtarak. Mana siz yangi O'zbekiston qurish to'g'risida gapiryapsiz. Biz Naya Pokiston dasturini oldinga suryapmiz va bu har ikkala dasturni ham asosiy negizida bo'lgan masala bu aholida kambag'allarni qisqartirish, kambag'allikdan chiqarish insonlarni va bu ishni amalga oshirishda pastdan yuqoridan pastga emas, pastdan quyi qatlamlardan eng kambag'allarni holatidan kelib chiqqan holda yuqoriga qarab borishni rejalashtirganmiz. Mana shunday yo'nalishda birinchi bo'lib payg'ambarimiz Muhammad sallallohu alayhi vasallam Madina shahrida yo'lga qo'yganlar va o'sha davrda hattoki o'sha aholini qo'lida pul bo'lmagan taqdirda ham shu vaziyatdan kelib chiqish, ya'ni kambag'allarni holidan xabar olib, kambag'alni qoldirmaslikka harakat qilganlar va buni natijasida ulkan bir davlatni qurishga erishganlar. Hozirgi kunimizda esa bunga Xitoy yaqqol namuna bo'lib turibdi. Ya'ni bunday yondashuvni haqiqatda ham to'g'ri yondashuv ekanligini isbotlab kelmoqda. Ya'ni aholini eng quyi qatlamlariga e'tibor berib, ularni kambag'allikdan chiqargandan keyin mana o'shalar boy bo'lsa, unda albatta davlat ham boy bo'ladi. Mana shu yo'nalishda sizni ham fikrlaringizga biz juda ham qo'shilishamiz. Ta'limga e'tiborni juda katta ta'limga e'tibor bermoqdasiz va bu yo'nalish orqali aholini aynan holatini yaxshilash, iqtisodiy va ma'naviy holatini yaxshilashga urg'u bermoqdasiz. Va bu yerda asosiy g'oyalarimizdan bittasi bu geosiyosatdan geoiqtisodiyotga o'tish va bu juda ham muhim va bu yo'nalishda savdoni
have access to India. And Pakistan then has access to Uzbekistan, Central Asia, and beyond. So it is a very exciting relationship between the two countries.
Janob Prezident, mana O'zbekiston bilan savdoni rivojlantirish biz uchun juda ham katta ahamiyatga ega, chunki O'zbekiston Markaziy Osiyodagi eng yirik davlat va bizni tomonimizdan shuning uchun ham bu o'rtadagi muloqotni, bog'liqlikni, o'zaro savdoni rivojlantirish qay darajada qiziqarli va manfaatli va muhim ekanligini tasavvur qilishingiz mumkin. Mana hozir biz 130 kishidan iborat bo'lgan yirik bir delegatsiya bilan keldik, ya'niki ular Pokistondagi tadbirkorlar vakillari, juda ham yirik tadbirkorlik birlashmalarining vakillari va bugun ertalab bu yo'lga chiqishimizdan oldin mana mobil telefonimga yana bir qator murojaatlar kelib tushdiki, boshqa tadbirkorlik guruhlaridan ular ham O'zbekistonga kelib, ular ham o'zaro aloqani o'rnatishga qiziqishlari bor ekanliklarini aytishdi va xudo xohlasa albatta bu yo'nalishdagi ishlarimiz o'zaro manfaatli hamkorligimiz davom etadi. O'zbekistondagi mana siz bir qator o'zaro anglashuv memorandumlari to'g'risida aytdingiz, o'zaro biz kelishib olgan nuqtalarimiz to'g'risida. Bundaylardan bittasi biz uchun albatta birinchi navbatda qishloq xo'jaligi yo'nalishida bevosita qishloq xo'jaligi sanoati, ya'ni O'zbekiston qishloq xo'jaligi yo'nalishidagi ishlab chiqarayotgan jihozlari, dastgohlari, mashinalari bizga juda ham katta bizda qiziqish uyg'otdi, chunki Pokiston avvalambor agrar iqtisodiyot asosidagi mamlakat hisoblanadi va ikkinchi masala bu yo'nalishda bizda paxta urug'chiligi masalasi. Bunga ham juda ham katta qiziqishimiz bor va mana shu bizga juda ham foydali bo'ladi deb ishonchimiz komil. Endi o'z navbatida O'zbekistonni Pokistondan oladigan manfaatli bir natijalarga to'xtaladigan bo'lsak, avvalambor Pokiston 220 million aholiga ega bo'lgan yirik bir bozor desak bo'ladi O'zbekiston mahsulotlari uchun, xizmatlari uchun. Bundan tashqari O'zbekiston Pokiston orqali, Pokiston dengiz portlari orqali Yaqin Sharq va Afrika mamlakatlari bilan ulanish, ularga ham o'z mahsulotlarini yetkazish imkoniyatiga ega bo'ladi va xudo xohlasa o'rtadagi munosabatlarimiz tiklanadigan bo'lsa, Hindiston bozoriga ham kirib kelishga yo'l ochadi deb ishonamiz. Va shuning uchun ham Pokiston esa o'z navbatida O'zbekiston orqali O'zbekiston bozori va shu bilan birgalikda Markaziy Osiyodagi boshqa mamlakatlar bozoriga kirib kelish imkoniyatiga ega bo'ladi va bu bilan to'xtalib qolmasdan albatta Markaziy Osiyoda atrofidagi mamlakatlarga ham bog'lanish imkoniyatiga ega bo'ladi.
And so to connect, the two countries need to improve, number one, our air connectivity. And so for that, we have decided that we will try and increase the frequency of flights between the two countries. Secondly, through land, we have experimented that a truck has left Pakistan-Torkham border and has arrived in 2 days to Uzbekistan. So land connectivity, but most of all, and I know it is your brainchild and your passion, the railway from Mazar-e-Sharif, from Uzbekistan, Mazar-e-Sharif to Peshawar, which an idea which we all feel in Pakistan extremely excited about. We think that this really would change everything if we can have this railway line. It will improve connectivity between the two countries and the transportation of goods. And so that, I assure you that President Shavkat, I will be pursuing it, my government will be pursuing it, and rest assured that we will try and push this extremely exciting project as much as we can.
Va o'zaro bog'liqlik to'g'risida gapirar ekanmiz. Bu yerda albatta ikkita yo'nalish juda ham muhim. Birinchisi bu havo orqali aloqalarni o'rnatish va bu yo'nalishda mana siz bilan janob oliylar biz kelishib oldik. Birinchi qiladigan ishimiz o'zaro yo'lovchilarni havo orqali qatnovlarini demak raqamini oshirish va shundan keyingi yo'nalishimiz havodagi kargo yuklar tashishni ham yo'lga qo'ygach, keyingi yo'nalish bu albatta avtotransport, ya'ni yer usti transporti orqali o'zaro aloqalarni, iqtisodiy aloqalarni rivojlantirish. Mana siz aytib o'tganingizdek, Pokiston chegarasidan O'zbekiston hududiga qadar bir sinov tajriba sifatida avtotransport yo'lga chiqqan va 2 kun ichida O'zbekistonga kirib kelishga muvaffaq bo'lgan. Va bu ham bu yo'nalishda katta salohiyat mavjud ekanligini bildiradi. Va keyingi masala albatta bu sizni o'zingizning g'oyangiz mahsuli bo'lgan juda ham katta loyiha, O'zbekiston bilan Mozori Sharif Qobul orqali Pokistonni Peshavor shahrini bog'lovchi temir yo'l loyihasi. Mana bu loyihani siz juda ham ilg'or tartibda targ'ib qilib kelyapsiz va biz Pokistonda sizni fikrlaringizni o'rganib bunga ishondik va hozirgi kunda bu g'oyani naqadar to'g'ri ekanligini anglab katta ishtiyoq bilan uni amalga oshirishni kutib qolmoqdamiz. Chunki bu mamlakatlarimiz o'rtasidagi tovarlarni transportiga, ularni yetkazib berishga juda ham katta xizmat qiladi va shu yo'nalishda albatta janobi oliylari, men sizga ishontirib aytamanki, shaxsan o'zim va meni hukumatim mana shu g'oyani ortida turamiz va buni albatta amalga oshirishda sizga ko'makchi bo'lamiz.
And we discussed the political situation in Afghanistan in details. We are both concerned as neighbors of Afghanistan that people of Afghanistan have suffered for the last 40 years. And as neighbors, we feel they are our brothers, that there should be peace there, there should be a peaceful political settlement there. So we discussed that in details. And we also resolved that the neighbors, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Iran, Pakistan, and even Turkey, we will try and help facilitate a peace process in Afghanistan. And for that, we hope that our foreign ministers will first meet, and then we will go on and try to have a summit so that we can stop what looks like a civil war.
Keyingi masalamiz biz har tomonlama muhokama qilgan masalarimiz bu Afg'onistondagi siyosiy holat bo'ldi. Buni har tomonlama siz bilan muhokama qildik. Albatta har ikkala mamlakat Afg'oniston bilan qo'shni mamlakatlar hisoblanamiz. Shuning uchun ham bu mavzu biz uchun juda ham tashvishli, katta ahamiyatga ega bo'lgan mavzu. Qolaversa, afg'on xalqi mana 40 yildirki mana shu notinchlikdan, jangu jadallardan aziyat chekib kelyapti va bu afg'on xalqi biz uchun birodar xalq hisoblanadi. Shuning uchun ham sizning ham bizning ham fikrlarimiz mushtarak bo'ldiki, Afg'onistonda tinchlikni o'rnatishni biz siyosiy murosa orqali yo'lga qo'yishga kirishishimiz lozim va bunga bu yagona yechim bo'lishi lozim. Va bu yo'nalishda O'zbekiston, Tojikiston, Eron, Pokiston va hattoki Turkiya bilan birgalikda fikr almashib mana shu ishga birgalikda kirishish to'g'risida kelishib oldik. Birinchi qadam sifatida bizni tashqi ishlar vazirlarimiz bu yo'nalishda muhokamalarni, muloqotlarni yo'lga qo'ysalar, keyinchalik davlat rahbarlari darajasida summit o'tkazish fikri ham muhokama qilinadi.
And finally, Mr. President, about the cultural aspect. This is extremely exciting that we have decided now to make a film on the first of the great Mughals, Zahiruddin Babur. His dynasty ruled India for 300 years. And during that time, India was considered one of the richest places in the world. 24 to 25% of the world GDP was from India. So it was a superpower of its time under the dynasty of Babur. So I think the young people in Uzbekistan and in Pakistan must know this connection. This connection stayed for hundreds of years between this part of the world and our part of the world. And we feel that this film would, and similar films, not just this film, they will connect the people of the two regions together. And then we can think of films on Iqbal, on Mirza Ghalib. I never realized that Mirza Ghalib was popular here. And then Imam Bukhari and, who we are all connected with in the subcontinent. So we hope that this will be the beginning of a strong cultural exchange between the two countries.
Va nihoyat so'nggi mavzu bu madaniy aloqalar mavzusi bo'ldi. Bu yo'nalishda ham biz uchun juda ham qiziqarli va hayajonli bo'lgan bir mavzuni muhokama qildik. U ham bo'lsa buyuk ajdodimiz Zahiriddin Muhammad Bobur, ya'ni butun dunyoda buyuk Mo'g'ullar imperiyasini asoschisi deb sanaluvchi Zahiriddin Muhammad Bobur to'g'risida bir film yaratish, birgalikda shuni filmni yaratish g'oyasi bo'ldi. Albatta Zahiriddin Muhammad Bobur imperiyasi Hindistonda 300 yil davomida hukm surgan va o'sha hukmronlik davrida Hindiston iqtisodiyotini shu darajada ko'targanki, jahon yalpi ichki mahsulotining 25% o'sha davrda Hindistonning ulushiga to'g'ri kelgan. Juda ham yirik, qudratli bir davlatni yaratgan va albatta bu tarix to'g'risida Pokistonlik yoshlar, O'zbekistonlik yoshlar xabardor bo'lishlari kerak. Biz o'rtamizdagi bu rishtalardan ular xabardor bo'lishliklari kerak va shuning uchun ham bu filmni va nafaqat bu kelajakda shunga o'xshagan boshqa filmlarni ham yaratish bizga juda ham ma'qul bir g'oya bo'ldi va bunga juda ham katta qiziqish bildirmoqdamiz. Hozir kelajakda Muhammad Iqbol to'g'risida, Mirza G'olib to'g'risida, hattoki biz Mirza G'olibni O'zbekistonda bilishlaridan ham unchalik xabarimiz yo'q edi va bundan keyin Imom Buxoriy to'g'risida albatta shunday filmlarni, shunday madaniy o'rtadagi aloqalarni, almashuvlarni yo'lga qo'yadigan bo'lsak, bu albatta har ikkala mamlakatga juda ham katta naf keltiradi.
And inshallah, as our countries get together, get closer together, cultural exchanges get stronger, then, Mr. President, I will introduce cricket to the people of Uzbekistan.
Albatta, Xudo xohlasa, Prezident janobi oliylari agar mamlakatlarimiz yana ham bir-biriga yaqinlashsa, o'rtadagi madaniy aloqalarimiz yana ham kuchaysa, Xudo xohlasa O'zbekiston xalqiga kriket o'yinini ham olib kelib tanishtiraman.
Rahmat. Men o'ylayman, avvalambor men sizga mamnuniyat bilan aytamanki, mana shu 2 yildan burun O'zbekistonda birinchi marta kriket federatsiyasi ro'yxatga olib, 2000 dan ko'p yoshlarimiz kriket o'ynayapti. Men mana shu siz bu soha bo'yicha juda katta muvaffaqiyatlarga erishganingizni inobatga olib, biz bu sohani ham juda katta rivojlantiryapmiz. Bu sohada ham men o'ylayman birgalikda hamkorlikni amalga oshiramiz.
Thank you very much. By the way, 2 years ago in Uzbekistan we have registered the Cricket Federation of Uzbekistan. So to date, more than 2,000 youngsters of Uzbekistan are successfully playing this very game. But nevertheless, the skies are the limit. So together, I believe that we'll be able to initiate new ideas, new programs on training the young cricket players, and we'll achieve good accomplishment in this way too.
Umuman, hurmatli ommaviy vositalar vakillari, mana ko'rdilaringmi, qisqa bo'ldi mana bizda mana shu muloqotlarimiz, lekin qanday sermazmun bo'ldi. Ayniqsa yana bir marta aytaman, Afg'onistondagi tinchlik bizni juda xavotirga soladi va juda ko'p narsalar bo'yicha kelishib oldik. Ikkinchidan, bironta soha qolmadiki, biz qandaydir shu sohaga urg'u berib, hamkorligimizni amalga oshirib, natijaga erishish bo'yicha. Yana bir marta aytaman, bir narsa eng bizga ayon bo'ldiki, juda katta imkoniyatlarimiz bor. Agar shu imkoniyatlarni to'liq ishga solsak, ikkita mamlakatga ham o'zi ijobiy natija bo'lishini va ko'p yo'nalishlar bo'yicha bizda ham erishilgan muvaffaqiyatlar, Pokistondagi erishilgan muvaffaqiyatlarda va birinchi marta mana shu Pokistondan bizga 130 dan ko'p hamkorlar kelib, mana biznes forum bo'lib, men mana shu raqamlarda aytdim. Bu raqamlar faqat boshlanishi. Shuning uchun o'zlaring mana bosh vazirimizni, mana hurmatli Imron xonni yana bir marta so'zlarini eshitdilaring. Bilasizmi, bizni muloqotlarimiz tugamayaptiki, juda katta imkoniyat borligini endi sezyapmiz. Bu ham iqtisodiyotda va mana shu madaniyatda, ma'rifatda buyuk rishtalarimiz, mushtarak rishtalarimizni amalga oshirib, mana shu buyuk bobolarimizni mana yana bir marta Bobur Mirzo to'g'risida kelishib olganimiz bu juda katta kelajakda mana shu yoshlarimizga bir qandaydir madaniy va juda katta mana shu hozirgi vaziyatda yoshlarga agar mana shu buyuk bobolarimizni haqiqatda mana shu Lahorga borib qurgan mana shu juda katta bog'larini, madrasalarini, masjidlarini hali ko'p yoshlarimiz bilmaydi bobolarimiz nimaga qodir ekanligi. Mana shu hozir Imronxon aytgandek 300 yil mana shu hukmronlik qilgan bobomizni iqtisodiyot qanday cho'qqilarga erishilgan Hindiston. Shuning uchun biz mana shu sohalarda ham birgalikda rivojlantirish bo'yicha ham kelishib oldik. Men o'ylayman hali bu boshlanishi. Men Imronxon janoblariga aytdim, kelgusi safarni ziyoratni Andijondan boshlaymiz deb kelishib oldik. Shuning uchun juda katta mamnuniyat bilan rozi bo'ldilar. Xudo xolasa mana shu Andijonda uchrashgancha ko'p masalalarda amalga oshiramiz. E'tiborlaringiz uchun katta rahmat.
Distinguished representatives of the media, I should say then, and as you can see, within such a short period of time, we were able to cover a wide array of issues, a great number of different areas for the discussion. Of course, we have been discussing every sector in big details. We have been speaking about the opportunities that we have. And believe me, having discussed all these issues, only now we're starting to realize and to understand that what a great opportunity that we have that can bring great success for both countries. And even the fact that 130 businessmen arrived to Uzbekistan and we have conducted the first forum already is a good indication that this is a good commencement. And as Mr. Imran Khan has mentioned, definitely there is a great opportunity to enhance our cooperation in economy, in education, as well as in politics and in cultural exchanges. You have heard that we will initiate the film about Bobur Mirzo. Definitely, this type of film is really important for our youth, so that they should know about that very great heritage that has been left by the Baburids. And not many Uzbek youngsters know that in Lahore there are a great number of mosques or the mausoleums or different schools that were built by our predecessors. At the same time, we should say that this is just the beginning. And in the end of our bilateral discussions, we agreed that the next visit of Mr. Imran Khan to Uzbekistan will start in Andijan city. And I believe that by that time, we'll be able to accomplish great projects, great ideas. So there will be a lot of things that we can exchange and talk in Andijan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ertaga juda sermahsun, og'ir sizlarga ham kun. Shuning uchun men o'ylayman, bugun charchaganga o'xshaysizlar, lekin bitta narsani tasavvur qilinglar, ertaga 2 karra ko'proq bizni nima deydi ishlarimiz.
President Shavkat, I must insist that you have to visit Pakistan before I come back to Uzbekistan next time.
Prezident janob oliylari, men O'zbekistonga qaytib kelishimdan oldin, ikkinchi tashrifimdan oldin siz Pokistonga albatta tashrif buyurishingiz kerak. Shuni qat'iy sizdan iltimos qilib qolaman.
Albatta, men mamnuniyat bilan qabul qilaman. Mana shu buyuk bobolarimiz qadam joylarini mana shu biz ham mana shu yoshlarimizga namuna qilish uchun avvalambor o'zimiz borib ko'rib kelish niyatimiz yo'qmiz. Albatta bu tashrif inshaalloh amalga oshiriladi.
Inshallah, definitely. I look forward to visiting Pakistan in order to see those very places that were still remaining the touch of our ancestors, and to see the life in Pakistan and people of Pakistan, and that's one of our plans, and inshallah it will happen.
Rahmat.
Thank you.
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान और उज़्बेकिस्तान के सदर के दरमियान मुश्तरका प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आपने मुलाहिज़ा की। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान का ये कहना था कि सरमायाकारी के पाकिस्तान में वसी मौक़े मौजूद हैं। 22 करोड़ के मुल्क में बहुत से ऐसे मौक़े हैं जहाँ उज़्बेकिस्तान सरमायाकारी कर सकता है। आखिर में वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान ने सदर उज़्बेकिस्तान को पाकिस्तान के दौरे की दावत दी, जो सदर उज़्बेकिस्तान ने कबूल की। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान का ये भी कहना था कि क्रिकेट के खेल को उज़्बेकिस्तान में फ़रोग़ देना चाहता हूँ, जिसको वेलकम किया उज़्बेकिस्तान के सदर ने। और नाज़रीन, आपको ये भी बता दें कि मुश्तरका प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस से पहले मुख्तलिफ मुफाहमती यादाश्तों पर दस्तखत हुए थे, MOUs साइन किए गए थे और एक्सचेंज किया गया था, जिसमें सकाफ़ती एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम था। उसके अलावा अस्करी तालीम के हवाले से प्रोग्राम को एक्सचेंज किया गया। चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स और पाकिस्तान और उज़्बेकिस्तान के दरमियान तिजारत के मुख्तलिफ मुआहिदों पर दस्तखत की तकरीब